have...
Hello. You know me. Witt.
And today, because we have another
Taylor's here
camera, Taylor's here.
Hey,
and you
we're
finally
doing it,
get to
guys.
see him. How great is that?
Blessing your eyeballs.
Yes, he is. For the first time on PragerU Live history, Taylor's going to be blessing your eyeballs with his face. So today, we're going to be talking about some breaking news stories and some infuriating videos that I want you to see. And we are going to start off with this absolutely aggravating encounter with a police officer that this teacher has. Now, I've seen this video. Will and Taylor, have you seen this video?
I saw minuscule amounts of this video. Also, before we get started, can we address the elephant in the room?
What's the elephant in the room?
The elephant in the room is that Amala laughs too much.
Oh, it is. Okay, so...
This was in the comments yesterday.
It was in the comments. Several people commented that on live streams I giggle too much.
I just want to let you guys know, for all of you guys who watch this, I'm sure you guys are at home giggling and laughing too because of how funny I am.
Oh, yeah.
So Amala laughing at all the things I said, don't hold it against her, okay? That's just me being as funny as I am.
Sure. We're going to go with that narrative for now because Will's already put it out to the ether.
You're
but
welcome.
yes, I'm a very giggly person. It's probably going to continue. So to those of you who can't stand giggling, I apologize.
Hey, this is not the stream for you. Go watch some leftist stream where they're sadists and they hate laughter.
Exactly.
This is
They
a
just wanna
happy
yell.
stream.
This is a very happy stream. We're all positive. We're a positive bunch in this room. And speaking of positivity, we're going to take it away from you right now by watching this video.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
How is this positive at all?
So, you may have seen this video as it has gone viral very recently, but it's a police encounter. This police officer, this Hispanic police officer, pulls over a black woman for driving down the street while using her phone, and she has many, many things to say to this cop. So I'm going to pull up this video for you, start playing it, and we will give our commentary as best we can. So here we go.
So giggly.
Today because I was going under the speed limit. I was going at 38.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you.
First of all, just before we I hate this woman.
Just to start.
This is such a Karen. You don't want to use that term because it's so sexist, you know, but I can't believe the way that this woman talks so condescendingly, so words that I can't say on PragerU Live, just horrible. I hate the way this woman speaks.
Yeah, with these police encounters that go viral, some of you may notice this if you watch the videos, it's almost as if the people getting pulled over are already ready for an altercation with the police, so much so that they try to push it a little further. They try to incite it. And you can see as soon as she gets pulled over, the windows roll down, she's screaming at the cop, "I was going 38 and a 40. Why am I pulled over right now? Tell me right now."
It's like that other video where these two guys are like following this woman, and she pulled out of the gas station and she left her like the thing disconnected from the car. Did you see this video?
I have seen that video.
And then she comes up to him and she's like, "You sexist a-holes, like you're following and stalking me." They're like, "You have this thing hanging off your car."
You
And she's
literally
just-
have the gas pump still attached to your car.
It's like you're so condescending and rude. Like, why do you think that the world wants to do you harm?
Some women are just ready for an altercation. I'm going to go out and put it out there. There might be a sexist thing to say, but some women are just like this, and she is one of these women.
They definitely are. Some men are like that too. But
True.
But men are like, at least like they'll get in your face about it. Women will just be like condescending.
Just very catty. So let's continue this encounter. Let's see where it goes.
Over
Because you're a murderer.
because-
Yes, I started to record because
You can't
you're a
be.
murderer.
You can't.
We just went from 10 to 100 really, really quickly. For those of you who did not hear that at home, she just called him a murderer. Blows my mind.
That's what, murdering her. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a joke. And Amala still laughs, even when I don't make a joke. I don't know exactly why she would say that, only that she's been watching way too much CNN.
It's true. You can tell this is just born out of anti-police rhetoric. If the first thing you say when you get pulled over is calling the police a murderer, I don't know where your mind is. And clearly it's not in reality. So let's keep moving on.
Can't be on your cell phone
I
while you're
wasn't on
driving.
my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell
I
phone
can
while you're
record
recording.
you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
So we have multiple laws broken right now, and she admits it. So he says, "I pulled you over because you're on your phone." She goes, "No, I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you on my phone." So she was clearly on her phone, and then he asks her for her driver's license, and she goes, "It's at my apartment."
How can you commit crimes and then be so what's the word I'm looking for? Surprised when the cops actually come and pull you over? You're going the speed limit, okay, fair, whatever. But you're committing a crime. You're filming while driving. You're going to crash into someone and hurt someone. The cop is doing his job to the best of his ability, seeing you break the law.
It almost makes me think that she's just using the BLM narrative and the murderous cop narrative to cover up the fact that she's actually just committed 2 crimes and she doesn't want to get arrested or fined for it.
No, but I mean, it's like a good strategy.
It is.
It's like if you're getting pulled over, just say that they're racist.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really do that.
No.
You could do that better than
I have that power. Will does not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, as a police officer, I'm sure in today's time, if somebody confronted you like that, I'm sure a lot of police officers would be scared to see that encounter through, because it is a real problem that police officers get accused of being racist when they're in no way, shape, or form being discriminatory towards the people that they're pulling over.
Right. If you pull someone over and they start accusing you of being racist or saying there was something off camera or whatever it is, like, again, who would want to be a police officer when you have situations like this, where they come up to you, you know you've committed a crime, and they still hate you, and they can still make a video like this that millions of people are going to see? Luckily, like, I think most people with a brain would see this video and think, like, this lady's pretty dumb, or at least out of touch. But some people will watch videos like this and say, you know, maybe she was filming, but that doesn't mean that this cop isn't a murderer. That doesn't mean that there's not a problem with our police force still.
Exactly. It's so easy now with this age of technology and social media to make a video that's completely out of context, post it online, and then generate outrage across the world. So it's honestly a pretty good tactic. So let's see where it gets her.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer.
Okay.
Oh my God. Who says that to someone?
I don't understand where it's coming from, other than just being indoctrinated. This is blowing my mind.
Dude, oh man, a guy pulls you over for breaking the law and you call him a murderer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact that she even wants a supervisor present at this encounter is dumbfounding to me. But on top of that, she's also calling this cop a murderer.
That's like when you get in trouble, like you're a little kid, and you're doing something you know is wrong, like you're stealing from the supermarket or something. I would never do this, okay? I'm just saying this. Like you steal something from a supermarket and someone catches you and they say, hey, you can't steal that. And you're like, well, you're fat. and you just like yell at them something completely random that has nothing to do with it, but you're trying to get out of it, and they're just like, well, I'm not fat, you did steal that, and you're trying to just completely change the conversation.
Yep, you're just trying to push the buttons and move on to a different subject matter and hope that it distracts from the fact that you're in trouble right now, and that's exactly what she's doing. It's crazy.
Okay.
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that
you
picture?
Scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Oh my goodness. Victimhood complex to the maximum extreme. She's filming this cop while she's driving. You've probably seen these people too, where you're driving or you see like someone filming out the window because they want to catch something sick that's going on, and then she does that so that she can put it on her Instagram story or Snapchat, whatever it is, and make it seem like she's so woke, and then they pull her over, and then it's a totally different situation than she was expecting. And
kudos to the cop for keeping such a good temperament about him during this encounter, because I'm more frustrated than he seems in this video, and he's being so respectful to her. He's saying, yes, ma'am, it's totally okay if you want to film this encounter with me, just don't start filming while you're driving in your car.
I would have flipped out.
I know.
If this woman would have talked to me like this, I don't know what I would have done.
I just don't have the wherewithal to be a police officer and deal with people like this on an everyday basis. This is what cops deal with on an everyday basis, people like this.
Is this a white woman?
This is a black woman.
She's black? Okay.
Yes. Here we go. Let's watch some more, guys.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay. Can you zoom in on that for me,
Sure.
Jay? Thank you.
And I'm perfectly
He's just like, okay.
legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer.
Congratulations.
You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
if
here you
stop,
go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for me,
No,
man.
because you're scaring me.
Oh,
You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me the...
You're threatening to kill me and my son. Is there anything, anything that this cop did during this entire conversation that is in any way threatening.
Just by being a cop.
Just by being a cop. Just by having a badge. Just by having the gun. Just by having the taser. He's somehow threatening her. And she uses the "I'm a teacher" card as if that's somehow going to get her out of the situation.
I know.
Is
like
it that
teachers
somehow...
don't commit crimes.
Yeah. Like that makes you virtuous for being a teacher and having a son. I don't understand.
It makes me really sad. Like, this video is obviously pretty hysterical watching it
Yeah.
and seeing how this woman reacts, because you're like, this lady is so over the top, ridiculous, condescending, horrible. But it's a really sad situation that there are people like this, that there are people who treat people this way. You know, like they always call conservatives these old, horrible white men, terrible people. You know, we're so rude to everyone. It's like, we're not the one being condescending and rude like this. I know this is one example, but I've met many a leftist on Twitter and all over the place who are incredibly condescending and rude. I think that there's a need to put all this stuff kind of aside and find a way that we can work together a lot more, because this is sad. This is embarrassing to watch this lady act this way. It's truly embarrassing that there are people who go out of their way to act in this specific way.
Let's finish it up.
Well, I'll tell you what, you keep smiling, you're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I
I'm not
didn't say
smiling.
that.
You're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still, I can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous?
What?
I don't think so. You wait for me right here, okay?
You're jealous?
You're jealous.
Is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go,
So here's the
I ain't sorry,
supervisor.
red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso.
It's on the citation, man.
Here you go, Mexican racist.
I promise, guys, we're almost done.
Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you go, dear.
White.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
Oh my goodness. So that's the end of that video. If your blood is not boiling, I don't know what to tell you. So she finishes it up by telling this Mexican cop or Hispanic cop, whatever ethnicity he is, that, you know what, you're always going to be a Mexican and nobody will ever see you as a white man, even though that's what you want to be seen as.
Can you just imagine going to an Applebee's with that lady and trying to order food? How horrible that would be. Like, there's not enough mushrooms on this.
Excuse me, waiter, I asked for ice and you didn't put it in, so that's really racist.
3 ice cubes? Oh, you want to be white, don't you? How? Too much ice? Oh, I bet you like ice.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
That's wild. Yeah, I do not like that woman.
It's just people.
I do not like her at all.
People on the left, when they hear something that they disagree with, or even meet somebody that apparently they disagree with in terms of their profession, their first go-to phrase is, "Oh my gosh, you want to be white so bad." And being a conservative, myself, and being female and being black, people comment to me all the time, "They're never going to see you as white. You're just going to be another N-word." And I get that comment all the time. They're always the go-to.
How do you respond?
Honestly, I don't know how to respond to things like that. And in terms of hate, I tend to just ignore it. But it scares me that people share that sentiment so much, that just because you have values, just because you're a police officer, that somehow that makes you have this secret ambition to be white. It's all a part of the white supremacist narrative. And that's what the left tries to sell to people all the time. Anything bad that happens in their eyes is some sort of a product of white supremacy. And if they spout that into the air, somehow that makes it true. And that's exactly what this woman is doing.
It's good, though, that you ignore the hate.
Yeah.
That's very mature of you.
What,
at
do you
20 years
respond?
old. No, of course not. Oh. I don't respond to the hate. There's a difference between people hating on you and people trying to give you something constructive about your argument or whatever. You know, there's definitely a difference. This is something that, like, people ask me about all the time, because I get a ton of hate too. It's like, they don't say that. Mm-hmm. I am white.
Doesn't quite work for you.
But ignoring the haters as like, that sounds kind of dumb, but it's like actually true. Like, don't go and read the hate comments. Don't read the things that people say about you. If you're like on your campus or at university, whatever it might be, and you post something that is the conservative narrative or different than what everyone else is saying, basically as the prominent agenda, and you get a ton of hate, don't read that hate, man. It only makes you feel worse, and it makes you feel like you shouldn't keep going, because you feel bad about it, right? It's human nature. If I go online and I read all the hate that I get, I feel bad. No matter how popular and how many millions of views I get, I still feel kind of bad when I read a ton of hate, like right in a row. There's nothing you can do about that. So Don't read the hate from people, because there's no need to respond to these people. They don't want to have a debate with you. They want to hurt you. They want to hurt your feelings and make you feel like crap.
Exactly.
Don't respond to people like that.
They're only there to get a rise out of you, and that's their only
just like
goal.
this lady.
Yeah. I have people who incessantly message me hate comments. I'm sure you get the same thing, Will. It's just because they live their lives for that feeling of getting a rise out of somebody, and when you don't give it to them, that's the best thing that you can do when you're on the other end of that and you're on the other side.
That's exactly right.
So that story was infuriating. You ready to get even more angry? Let's go on to our next story. So I'm sure you guys are all well aware of the George Floyd trial that ended this past month, and that the verdict across the board was guilty of all 3 charges for this police officer. And the question that I raised on an earlier stream is that regardless of how you feel about this specific trial, in America, in the United States, we tell our people that you have a right to a fair and just trial, regardless of what crime you have been charged for. And my question is, do you think Derek Chauvin received a fair trial? And I'll go ahead and answer that for you. No, he did not. And here is living, breathing proof of it. I'm going to show you this picture that just came up on the internet. It is now going viral. Now, this may look like some just obscure picture of 3 men at a bar having fun. I want you to take a look at this guy's t-shirt right here. It says, "Get your knees off of our neck, BLM." Now, this may mean absolutely nothing to you reading this, but when I scroll up and show you that the man wearing that shirt is actually a juror in the Derek Chauvin trial, I think that changes people's perspectives.
No, it's wild. You're supposed to be impartial going into a trial. You're not supposed to have some deep-seated opinion that you already had recollection of, that you're going into this trial with a bias already.
Exactly.
I mean, people saying that this was a fair trial. I can't say I wasn't there. Okay, I wasn't there when George Floyd died or whatever, or him before buying drugs, whatever it was. I wasn't there for any of that, okay? I can't say that I know exactly what happened because I wasn't there. I just can't. I don't know what happened. But to say that his trial was fair and honest and even-sided is just, it's blatantly false. It's blatantly false. I mean, you had the President of the United States coming out and drawing a side on it, right? That is totally unfair. Those kind of things cannot be allowed to happen. But no one's being held accountable. I mean, this is coming out about this guy, about the BLM thing. I can't see that anything is going to happen with it. Maybe I'm just pessimistic, but I can't see that anything good is going to come out of it, or that anyone's going to have to take any responsibility for their actions.
I don't see that either with the current trend that we've been on now with Black Lives Matter in particular, and especially when it comes to this trial. But as a result of this sort of groundbreaking picture that has come out and gone viral, Derek Chauvin's attorney files a motion for a new trial. So it looks like there is going to be an appeal of the original trial and the original conviction, and we might see a retrial for this man, and deservedly so, because obviously, just purely based off the picture that I just showed you, this trial was not fair and it was not just. And for those of you who are sort of failing to see the scope of what this means, when you go into a trial, whether that is a murder case, a sexual assault, battery, anything of the sort, as a juror, you cannot have any connection to that sort of crime or anything that pertains to the trial. So before the trial even starts, when they are picking out jurors, they will interview each juror individually to see what their life is like, what their family is like, if they have any connection that might link them to the case, any connection that might change their opinion in regard to the case before actually experiencing the trial. And this juror, being on the trial of George Floyd, shows that he lied before going into this trial. You should have no connection to BLM. You should have no connection to the riots, to the protests. And this juror actually attended protests last summer and says, "I just wanted to do so to be a part of something," is what this juror wrote. So clearly he was biased going into this trial, and as a result, this should be subject to an appeal, at the very least.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, you had the people, when it was the trial, when it was actually happening, like 2 weeks ago or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, if that conviction wasn't made, if he wasn't convicted on these counts, then we would have seen tons of rioting in the streets. Just another example of how this wasn't a fair trial, that people didn't want to see their cities destroyed. People didn't want to see their communities uprooted because of the conviction or not conviction of this man. So it was just another example of how this was totally not fair for Derek. Again, we don't know what happened. We weren't there. We can't say exactly what happened. But to say that this man had a fair trial is just not true.
Yeah, honestly, I would go as far as to say that it's impossible for him to receive a fair trial with how far the media has gone to rot people's brains with Black Lives Matter and everything surrounding the case of George Floyd. I don't see Derek Chauvin ever getting a fair trial, and I'll just be honest about that.
No, I'm in the same boat as you.
Yep, and even with all that, the media strife continues in regard to BLM, in regard to anti-policing, and it's going to result in police officers leaving their jobs and not wanting to do it anymore. And I'll tell you about this. So I want to show you a video of a real-life police officer just reacting to what's going on. And we'll end the show with this, so you can really get the true sentiment.
I'm tired. I am so goddamn tired. I wake up every morning and kiss my family goodbye, knowing that there's a possibility I won't come home. I am tired of every time I wake up in the morning, there's someone else polarizing the fact that maybe law enforcement is just not a good thing. All of us are not bad. I am not as they are. Most of us are not. There are bad people in every career. I'm so goddamn tired. Tired. I give everything.
So these are the real life repercussions of this. These are what police officers are facing. They're facing this rhetoric in their everyday lives. They're facing all the hatred that people have, all the ACAB and the Black Lives Matter and abolish the police, yet these men and women have to go out every single day and still do their jobs, and they're confronted with some of the most horrendous stuff that you can see in society, and they're supposed to face that and then go home and listen to all the anti-police rhetoric on top of that. So these are the real-life repercussions of that.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. It's a totally backwards culture where the people who are trying to do their best to protect us, to keep our communities safe, who want to see law and order in this country, who don't have to do this, okay? These police officers didn't have to take this job. And I understand there are bad things that police officers do. If we have unconstitutional laws and police officers are protecting those unconstitutional laws, I understand there's a problem, okay? I don't want to just sit here and bootlick at all. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm saying that there are police officers like this guy, like all these other police officers, do an amazing job protecting our communities, who you should be thankful for. Who you should be thankful for these people doing an amazing job trying to keep you safe. Communities need more policing. When you see communities that have gotten lower policing, you see crime goes up. That's in Los Angeles, in New York, when they've defunded the police. In Minneapolis, Seattle, crime has gone up. And then you see places like Chicago where they've tried to increase the police budget as some other times, and you see crime go down, okay? There is a direct correlation of evidence that shows that more police presence are going to make communities safer. And these people want to do a good job, okay? It's just like, why would they want to do a bad job? Why would they want to go every day and hurt people and be slandered and have people think terrible things about them? Why would they want to do that? There's no point.
Yeah. I don't blame them for leaving the job, and it seems like we're all surrounded with this sort of rhetoric right now. And as a young person like me and Will, it can be really hard to find people who share the same sentiments that we have, share conservative values. So I wanted to go ahead and put out an opportunity for you guys. If you are a young person under the age of 35, you're in high school or you are in college, and you share conservative values and you just can't find people to talk to, please go ahead and join Prager Force. You can go to prageru.com and sign up for Prager Force to be a part of a conservative community of like-minded young people. And that is our stream. I am Amala Ekpunobi.
Amala, I couldn't have said that better myself.
Thank you.
You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Oh, look at the giggling.
The giggle's back. Oh, I can hear people leaving the stream.
Down by the thousands. Tens of thousands. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. It's been Will, Witt, and Amala. Thanks for watching, and we're going to see you guys on Thursday. And then tomorrow, you guys, 4 p.m. PST to 7 p.m. Eastern is Will, Witt Live, which is my podcast. We got some really good things coming for you tomorrow. So make sure you're tuned in on YouTube and Facebook at 4 p.m. PST. And there will be no Amala giggling. So it's going to be much better than this. All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks
Peace.
for watching.